How's it going, everyone? My name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 7. So, that last episode, wow. We really just jumped into the big reveal. We now know who the main the main antagonist is of the Higurashi series, or at least that is what I'd like to refer to them as. Obviously, we've had multiple antagonists. Even our main characters have turned into antagonists. Keiichi at one point really just went batshit on everybody. Shion, I guess you can even say, was an antagonist at one point. But the main overarching one, and you know, I'm sure a lot of us saw it coming, including kind of me, is Takano. So Takano is our main antagonist. Not really sure what her reasoning is because she continues to spout nonsense that no one can really understand, not even the reader. But she has some sort of goal, and she's working with a whole lot of others, including the mountain dogs, which apparently are more in control of Irie's clinic and Irie than he is in control of them and Takano. And now we know for a fact that Takano has faked her death. We have confirmed that. That is for certain. And that whole 24-hour deal, which was greatly hinted to us a few times, yeah, that was the big hint. That it wasn't somebody on the morgue's end that was like, oh, you know, this body seems to have been rotting a day later. Oh, wait, maybe not, or a day more so than when we received it. No, it actually was. It wasn't a mistake, and that also wasn't Takano. All right, let us jump back into things. Things I'm sure are going to get even crazier as we move forward, and our main characters don't even know that Takano's the enemy. So how do we proceed here for this to be the perfect world, the world that moves forward? I don't know if you can call it perfect because Tomitake died. The day after Watanagashi, Ushi showed up at our school. It isn't uncommon for Ushi to show up here today. Interestingly, he always asks to see the most key person in that world. He asks for Keiichi in the world where he gets sick. He asks for Rena in the world where she gets sick. In this world, he asked for me.
Tomitake ga shinimashita ka?
ちょっと尋常じゃない死に方でしてね。薬物か何かで錯乱状態だったんじゃないかと思います。自分で自分の喉をかき破るというショッキングな亡くなり方でした。
やはり抗えないのか。
There's nothing I can do now. I knew this was going to happen. I'm sure Takano is dead too.
高野は
彼女についても残念なご連絡があります。隣の県の山中で焼死体で発見されました。死体の状況から多分考察された後に焼かれたんじゃないかと思っているのですが、どちらにせよ気の毒な話です。
大石の考えは分かってますです。僕が何か知っていると思っているんでしょう。
いやいや、まさかまさか。疑うとしたらこの一点だけです。あの人混みの中で小耳に挟めるようなところでこんな物騒な話をする人がいるわけがない。
僕が何かの陰謀の片棒を担いでると思っていますですか？
と思い込みたいところですが、それも引っ込めました。本当にその気なら、あなたは私にあんな入れ知恵をすることはなかったんですからね。少なくとも今回の事件を起こそうと考えた何者かとは相対する位置にいると思ってます。
それが本当ならとても嬉しいのです。
Ushi threw a 10 yen coin into the offering box and shook the bell in prayer.
どうか今年こそHinamizawa村連続開始事件を終わらせられますように。
そのために僕に協力しろと。
今のはお社様にお願いしたんですよ。
Ushi is well aware that people call me the reincarnation of Ayashiro-sama. That must have been his attempt at a joke.
僕もこんなたたりはもう金輪際にしてほしいと思っていますです。
おや、ならフルデさんと私の求めるところは 一致するようですね。
僕は昨日、富武の死体が見つかりそうなところを予言しましたです。そこにパトカーはいなかったのですか？
いいえ、ちゃんと巫女様の予言に従って配置しました。ほら、細道路と砂利道の境目になっているあたりがあるじゃないですか。通称村境とか呼ばれているあたりです。あそこら辺はとても暗いですからね。何かヤバいことの起こりそうな匂いが一番プンプンするあたりです。
では、富武の死体はどこで？
配置場所よりももっとずっと沖宮寄りの水田地帯の路肩です。
That's not where his body is usually found. If he was fated to hallucinate and die, he would die in exactly the same spot, whether the cruiser was there or not. Just because the cruiser was placed there, Tomatake's body was found in a totally different spot. In other words, the existence of the police cruiser disrupted that fate.
でですね、ここからがちょいと面白い話になります。パトにはですね、私通る車もチェックさせたんです。そしたら高野の車が祭りの終わった後、沖宮方向へ通過したんですよ。
Takano lives in Okinomiya. It wouldn't be strange for her to head back home after the festival.
ただ乗ってたのは一人だったんです。富武は乗っていなかった。
富武はHinamizawaにはいつも自転車で来ますから。
なら自転車をトランクに積んで車に乗せてもらうのが普通じゃありませんか。ですが富武は一緒じゃなかった。にもかかわらず富武の死体はHinamizawaからパトを越えて沖宮の方の水田地帯で見つかる。
つまり
あの真っ暗な中、森の中を突き進んでパトを迂回したなんてできる芸当ではありません。だとしたらパトに気づかれずに街道を抜けるしか考えられない。フルデさん、高野と仏の関係について教えていただけませんか。
恋人同士、それしか知らないです。
Well, they were.
高野がね、
Kinda.
恋人との最後の夜の仰せを一人で帰るというのが腑に落ちないんです。富武はその時トランクの中に詰められていて、あの真っ暗な森の中に捨てようとした。だがお告げのパトカーがたまたまそこにいちゃったもんで、仕方なくそこを通り抜け、
It's actually pretty surprising how spot on he is
も
here.
っと先で富武を捨てた。
What if this slight change in fate was all that was needed to try and crack down what the actual mystery is here? Both Tomitake and Takano were sent here from Tokyo. I have no idea what their real identities are. I can't say that Takano had no reason to kill Tomitake. However, I've never considered that possibility before in my life. Takano killing Tomitake? But why? I can't think of any reason. Nothing comes to mind. And it's hard to imagine Takano was cornered to the point that she had to kill him. In fact, it was more plausible to think that she was enraged with the lovesick Tomitake acted cold towards her. Or when the lovesick Tomitake acted cold towards her, and she strangled his neck.
私はあのカップル、どことなく不釣り合いだなってずっと思ってました。
Yeah, that's what we call a booty call.
こう言っちゃ富武君に失礼ですが、高野さんでは荷が勝ちすぎているんじゃないかなってずっと思
I'd
ってま
say
し
it's
た。
maybe the other way around there, is she?
高野が富武を何かに利用しようとして近づいていたとか、そういう話を村の中で聞いたことはありませんかね。
Actually, let me correct my previous statement. I think she's too... I don't know what the proper phrasing would be. She's into deceptions. Yeah. She deceived Tomitake and he could not see that. I don't know. Is that actually what she did? Well, anyways, I'd say Tomitake is a pretty smart man. Takano is just a little crazy, you know? I don't know if any of you guys can agree with me on that one.
ないです。でも、話は聞いてみようと思いますです。何か分かったら、大石にも知らせますです。
ありがとうございます。 村の内部に詳しい方、それも御三家の当主でお社様の生まれ変わりの協力がいただければ鬼に金棒ですよ。
But even the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama couldn't solve this mystery for over 100 years.
でもその高野も殺されたのですよ。どういうことなのですか？
私はもしあなたから垂れ込み、おっと、お告げを聞いていなかったら、多分きっと富武と高野は共に犠牲者で、お社様のたたりの5年目ってことになったんだろうと思い込んだと思います。ですがこうなってくるとどうも違う。どうやらこいつはお社様のたたりの5年目ってことにしようとした巧妙な事件のように見えてきました。
つまり高野が犯人。
Basically, this is what Ueshi's trying to say. They're not both victims. The culprit is also pretending to be a victim. This is really hard for me to believe. I can't think of any reason why Takano would do something like this. Ueshi only feels that way, or the way he does, because he doesn't know her well as I do. And for another thing, how can he explain that Takano's body was found? Didn't the police in Gifu Prefecture identify the body?
焼死体の識別には歯型照合が最も有効だと言われています。ただうちの鑑識のじじいが言うにはそれでも 100% じゃないという。まあそれよりおかしいのが現場の県警鑑識の死亡時刻なんです。当初死亡時刻が合わなかったらしいんです。
死亡時刻が合わない。
ねえ、祭りの前夜にはもう殺されてたっていう鑑識が出ちゃったらしいんです。内容物とかそういうのから調べるらしいですね。ですがこの時点で岐阜さんには高野の話をしちゃってたんです。だからお隣の県警さん、綿流しの日に彼氏とデートしてたはずの死体が死後24時間では話が合わないって言って、その鑑定結果を握りつぶしちゃったらしい。死亡時刻の鑑定なんかより死体の歯型鑑定の方がよっぽど精度が高いですからね。まあ現場にはたまにある話です。ですが高野が犯人かもしれないって目で見てみると、こいつは高野の死体じゃない可能性が出てきます。
死体をごまかすことなんて可能なのですか？
焼死体の鑑定は基本的に歯型以外は絶望的です。例えばこれは推理小説的な荒技ですが、沖宮のデンタルクリニックに残されていた高野美代の歯型のカルテ、これが巧妙な手口で捏造されていたら誤認もあり得る。まあそんなのは抜きにして、単純にお隣の県警さんが高野に間違いないと決めつけてしまった可能性の方が高いですが、
That was quick.
警察組織内では往々にして初動時の鑑定ミスが後々まで尾を引くことが少なくない。伝説的な冤罪事件のほとんどはこれに起因します。私はどうやらその可能性が拭えない気がする。
I'm glad Ueshi finally has a good gut feeling.
つまり高野は生きてる。
高野美代は先日以来車ごと行方不明です。現地の死体が高野でないなら、これはなんだか面白そうな話になってきます。
Oh yeah, it's gonna get real interesting, gamers. Real interesting. Irie had already heard about the deaths of Toмотake and Takano. It seemed like both the clinic and the office in Tokyo had flown into a panic over it. It's funny how they make such a big fuss about their own people when they don't care about what happens to other people's lives if it would get in the way of their research. Takano's subordinate, Okanogi, was in the room. Okanogi is the leader of the mountain dogs. I came here to make sure he's still willing to protect me. Based on past experience, they tend to lose interest in protecting me after Takano dies.
おこのぎ、高野が死んでしまいましたですが、僕は大丈夫なのですか？
大丈夫ですよ、リカさん。我々が今後も厳重に警護してますんで。 ですから、警察に頼ろうとしなくても問題ないです。
I guess this is part of that tight security? They must have been listening to my conversation with Ueshi.
大石に聞きました。高野が実は死んでいないというのは本当ですか？
まさか。現地の県警の正式な発表ですんで。大石という刑事は今年で定年。お社様のたたりを何とか解決したい一心で、何でも話をおかしくしようとする癖がありよります。あいつの言うことに耳を貸さん方がいいでしょう。
Well, he's not wrong. This year is Ueshi's last chance. Because he's so desperate, he's developed a bad habit of listening to every rumor he hears.
では、おこのぎはこの事件をどう見ていますですか？
現在、上が調査してますんで、いい加減なことは言えません。殺された二人の関係を知る以上、内部犯行の可能性が極めて高いっちゅんは間違いないんじゃないかと。
I glanced over at Irie as I listened to Okanogi speak, excuse me. It seemed that whoever he was talking to over the phone was accusing him of killing them. Irie was frantically trying to prove his innocence. Soon enough, he hung up the phone. Irie looked upset that he was under suspicion after working so hard for the organization.
ああ、リカさん、すみませんね。だいぶお待たせして。
入江も大変なことになったようなのです。
お聞きになった通りです。富武さんたちの死は何かの陰謀による可能性が非常に高いです。そして東京はその黒幕が私であると思っているようです。まったくどうしてそういう方向になるのか大いに疑問です。
I rarely ever saw Irie get so emotional. He must be feeling as though all of his effort is being repaid with injustice. However, it's a fact that Irie was trying to fight against the budget cuts and downsizing of his research team. Tokyo was thinking that could be his motive for killing them. In any case, everyone in the organization is suspicious.
リカさんの心配は分かってます。高野さんたちを殺した何者かが次にあなたを狙わないとは限らないですからね。
Yeah, you're kind of on the right track
東京
there.
もそこは特に気にしていました。
山犬にもあなたの警護体制を最高にするよう命令が来ています。ご安心してくださいね。
それが聞ければ僕は少し安心なのです。
This was the first time the Mountain Dogs had ever tightened up my security. They usually become so busy keeping tabs on Irie after Tomitake and Takano's deaths that they end up ignoring me. Even though they're dead, I'm still in a pretty favorable situation. I don't know about that
高野たちを殺した
one.
犯人に心当たりはないのですか？
東京の皆さんも調べられています。状況を見る限り内部事情に精通した人間の仕業です。どうやら真っ先に疑われたのは私のようです。
富武にああいう死に方をさせられるのは入江だけなのです。
そんなことはありません。おそらく東京の方も H17 さんの話をしているのでしょうが、あれは危険な目的での研究が中止された時全て破棄されたはずです。あんなことは不可能だ。
ですが所長、こういうことが起こってしまった以上、それに富武氏には予防薬があらかじめ与えられていたはずにもかかわらず発症したんです。
天文学的低確率で起こった偶然だとしか言えません。とにかく絶対そんなことはありえないんです。
Irie is usually a very calm person. But once the people in Tokyo start suspecting him, he often loses his mind.
高野が犯人ということはありませんですか？高野なら内部の人間です。
You know, his suicide actually might be an actual suicide. It might actually be him killing himself because I'm assuming in all the other worlds and chapters that we've witnessed that he just gets targeted by the people in Tokyo that he's hoping, you know, he doesn't get these budget cuts and all that from. And, well, they suspect him of being a straight up murderer. And I guess all that pressure brings him to killing himself. The fact that he loses a friend and somebody that he was working with in Tomitake, and somebody that literally worked with him in Takano? I guess it was just too much.
高野さんがまさか
But as he spoke, Irie also started to realize that everything could be explained if Takano was the culprit. But I don't know how to persuade him I don't know how to persuade him that it's the truth. Excuse me. God, I cannot speak tonight. Kill me. But not really. More than anything, people want to hear a motive. Not who did something, but why. Knowing that probably isn't as important as it sounds. After all, you never know the motive unless the suspect talks. Guessing about the motive is just a waste of time. In other words, it's stupid to assume that Takano isn't the culprit just because I don't know what her motive is.
リカさん、確証もないことを言っちゃいけませんね。あれだけ親切にしてくれたんじゃないんですか？それを疑っちゃ悪いですね。
Upon hearing me be ungrateful towards his boss, Okanogi flashed me an unpleasant smile. It's true that Takano was very nice to me. It might be disrespectful of me to suspect her. However, I still can't trust her completely yet. Perhaps I've developed the same bad habit as Ueshi. Am I believing every crazy theory I hear just because I'm desperate to escape from my fate?
とにかく私たちの身近で何か良くないことが起こりつつあるのは間違いありません。
Oh yeah. You do not know the half of it.
用心するに越したことはないでしょう。
ご心配なく。所長に対する警護体制も最高にするよう命令を受けておりますね。
Irie smiled bitterly. For him, their protection wouldn't be too different from stalking.
リカさんも警察には不用意なことを喋らないようにお願いします。分かってると思いますが、場合によっては機密保持のため、厄介なことになるかもしれませんので。
He was implying that he'd have to kill anyone I talked to. This isn't the first time they've warned me about this. It's just, what if Takano really is the culprit? If she is, then Okanogi is almost certainly involved too. Then it makes sense that he wouldn't want me to suspect Takano. But that would be horrifying. If Takano was my enemy, then the mountain dogs were too. This whole clinic is a lion's den. Irie is just a researcher, so we probably wouldn't know what's really going on. The more I thought about it, the more confused I got. Why would Takano do something like this? I thought I'd just convinced myself that the motive shouldn't even matter. But even I can't stop thinking about it. Is Takano really behind it all? Am I going as crazy as Ueshi just because of how badly I want to solve this mystery? Perhaps the mountain dogs are more like wolves looking after a flock of sheep. I've lived for over 100 years. I never once found out who killed me, and I stayed close to the Irie Institute so that they'd protect me. What if that was my big mistake? Well, I'm sure that Irie has no bad intentions. In many lives, I got to see just how genuine his feelings are. I can trust him. However, he's not really reliable. Okanogi glanced over at me. He smiled and told me not to worry, but I noticed an evil glint in his eyes. Yes, that's enough to suspect him. It's possible that I have Hinamizawa syndrome and that was just a hallucination. I don't understand anything. I don't even know who my enemies are anymore. There's no point in thinking about this any longer. I have to only trust who I know I can trust for sure. There are only a few of those people though. Irie, Ueshi, and my friends. Who, are all not crazy this time around. If Okanogi is on Takano's side, he will be watching me very closely. If I started accusing Takano of anything, who knows what they'd do to me. When this world first began, I thought I had no time left. But that wasn't true. The number of things that happened in just 2 weeks was immense. I probably only have a few more days left until the day of my death. What can I do? How can I change this? Am I supposed to just take Hanyu's advice and resign this time? Nah, we gotta keep fighting. I was gonna say something, but I already forgot it. Damn it. Oh, earlier on in this chapter, Rika was talking about the many different things that she did to try and live past her day of death. which is just a few days after Watanagashi. She even mentioned that she actually tried hiding in the woods, but it was only like a month later that she was found out. It would make sense that the mountain dogs would have the capabilities to find her, no matter what.
それで渡流しの番にはもう失踪していたらしいんだよ。お社様のたたりかな。
さすがに5年も連続すると薄気味悪いよな。
Hinamizawa is a small village. Rumors spread fast here. Besides, she's a Mion Sonozaki. She would have found out about this yesterday even if the police were trying to hide it. My friends were all talking about the mysterious death of Tomatake and the disappearance of Takano. People in this village are very superstitious. No matter what happens, they conclude that everything is the curse of Oyashiro-sama. The past incidents don't matter to me either way. All I'm interested in is the current one. The culprit of this case will probably kill me too. 2 days have passed since Watanagashi. Today is Tuesday, June 21st, 1983. At the earliest, I'll get killed on the night of the 22nd. That is tomorrow night. Oh my god. We do not have fucking time. I have no idea what Rika's gonna do here. I mean, she can confide in her friends, but who are they up against? They don't even know, right? I mean, we know, but kinda. I don't know, it just seems like a really difficult enemy to fight this time around. The day of my death is always different. I always end up getting killed, but the day when it happens varies. I guess the culprit has their own reasons for that. There's only one thing I'm sure about. Based on my experiences, I'll live for sure until tomorrow night. After then, I'll have to live with the fear of getting murdered at any moment. Still, there's no real reason to be afraid. When I wake up, I'll be in a brand new world again. I can never remember how I'm killed, and that's why I'm not afraid of the killing itself. I'm just frustrated that my life is about repeating the same things over and over like a broken record. However, at present I'm frustrated. My classmates just expect that their peaceful days will continue forever, but I couldn't feel that way. I feel frustrated and full of sorrow, as I really don't want to die.
明日の夜ですが、リカは悔いがありませんですか？バカ。ないわけないでしょ。
Hanyu was trying to warn me that I might get killed tomorrow night, as though she already knew it was going to happen for sure.
リカはとてもよく頑張りました。そして今年の綿流しは僕が生きてきた中でも一番の楽しいお祭りでした。それはリカもだったのではないですか？
It was fun. It really was fun. Sadako had band-aids all over her face, but everyone was there together, and we kicked up a storm. I want this world to continue forever. I can't accept that this world is going to end tomorrow at the earliest, and within 1 or 2 weeks at the latest.
また次の世界でもきっと楽しくできますのですよ。
Man, it ain't about having fun, it's about living.
この世界はもう終わりなの。こんなにも楽しい世界なのに。もう終わりなの。
All of my friends are alive and happy. Keiichi doesn't feel alone, and Rena's family is happy too. Mion and Shion are getting along, as well as Shion and Surako. The issue of Surako's uncle is resolved, and she's no longer treated coldly by the other villagers. This is the best world I've ever experienced. But this world is going to end.
リカ、僕たちは特別な存在なのに、リカは自分のことを普通の人間として考えすぎなのです。楽しいパーティーがいつまでも続けばいいのにと子供の誰もが願う。でもいつかパーティーはお開きになりますのです。だから子供たちは楽しい瞬間をどうか永遠に続いてほしいと願うのです。でもだからといって終わったパーティーを嘆くことはない。眠ればまた明日の朝になる。そしてまた いろいろと楽しいことが起こるのです。パーティーが終われば消えてしまうシンデレラなんかいない。
私の聖夜の個室をそんな風に例えられるなんて知らなかったわ。
今のリカはパーティーから帰りたくないと泣いて椅子にしがみつく子供と同じなのです。どうして泣いたり悲しんだりする必要が？またパーティーはやってきます。リカは死を越すことを未だに忌み嫌っているけれど、僕たちにとっては一眠りのまたぎだというのに。
羽生は昭和58年の6月より先に何があるのか。
見たくないと言えば嘘になりますです。でもそれに固執して裏切られ傷ついてゆくリカの方が心配なのです。リカには分かってない。気の遠くなるほどの長い時間を誰とも会話することができず、楽しい祭りもじっと眺めているだけ。子供たちの遊ぶ輪を横で眺めていることしかできない悲しさなんてわからない。誰にも私の姿が見えない。誰にも私の声が届かないし、誰も私に話しかけてはくれない。そんな辛さや悲しさがリカに想像つきますのですか？その中でやっと出会えたリカなのです。僕はリカがいなかったら生きていけない。でもリカのように死ねもしないのです。僕は時の果てまで一人ぼっちで生きていかなくてはならない。新しいあなたが現れるまでずっと膝を抱いて一人で過ごしていかなくてはならない。僕はそんなのは嫌なのです。絶対に嫌なのです。
羽生、
だからリカ、あの悲しい約束を取り消してほしいのです。この世界でも運命に打ち勝てなかったらもう全てを諦めるというあの約束を取り消してほしいのです。
羽生、ごめん。もう少しだけその返事を待たせて。
I want to do what I can until the end. And when that happens, I can decide what to do. If I think there's still some hope, I can go on living. But if I feel desperate enough, I can just give up. It might not ultimately be a bad thing to repeat June of 1983 over and over. Perhaps I might be blessed with another fortunate life someday. Hanyu nodded with a little satisfaction after hearing that, sensing that my feelings were starting to lean the way she wanted them. I mean, I get it.
どうしたよレナ。
She doesn't want us to, or want Rika to depend so much on the possibility of there being a bright and possible future, and only to get hurt. But damn her pessimism. And I know that it's like annoying ass pessimism because I'm pessimistic too. I'm right there with you, Hanyu, honestly. But goddamn, it is annoying. It gets annoying. Pessimism is annoying.
リカちゃんをお持ち帰りする算段でもしてるのか？
ねえ圭一くん、リカちゃんに元気がないとは思わないかな。
どうだろうな。奉納演舞の疲れが抜けないんじゃないのか？
Rika-chan was sitting all by herself, wearing a sad expression. I had said she might still be tired from the festival, but that wasn't really how it looked.
さとこちゃんが解放されて踊り上がってもいいくらいなのに、なんだか昨日からリカちゃんの様子がおかしいように思うの。悩み事でもあるんじゃないかな。
てっぺの件は完全に決着したはずだろ。リカちゃんが悩むような問題は何もないはずだぜ。
We thought Sotoko and Rika-chan might not be able to live together if they found a new guardian for Sotoko, but that problem is almost resolved. Either the Sonozaki family or the Kimiyoshi family will become her guardian. Mayor Kimiyoshi is already Rika's guardian. If the Sonozaki family gets custody, Sotoko will officially become Shion's little sister. Anyway, I had no idea why Rika-chan was acting so upset.
こういう時は声をかけてみるのが一番じゃねえのか？
それがかえってデリカシーがない時もあるし。でも圭一くんなら大丈夫だと思うかな。
それはつまり 俺にデリカシーがないっていう意味だな。
Rena laughed and stuck her tongue out at me. I walked up to Rika-chan and struck up a conversation. Perhaps something is still troubling Sotoko, and we just don't know about it. If that's the case, we need to help her.
元気なさそうだな。何か悩んでるのか？
あ、圭一。
Rika-chan had been daydreaming, and it took her a while to realize that I was talking to her.
僕が悩んでるように見えましたですか？
まあな。どうしたんだよ。何かあったのか？
It took her a while to answer. Such a long silence had to mean yes.
圭一、聞いてもらいたい詩がありますです。誰が作った詩かは聞かないでくださいです。そして聞いたら感想を聞かせてほしいです。
いいぜ。どんなのだよ。
Rika-chan closed her eyes and recited a short poem. It went something like this. Everyone has the right to be happy. Yet it's so hard to receive. Everyone has the right to be happy. Yet it's so hard to fulfill. I have the right to be happy. Yet it's so hard to compromise.
結構難しい詩だな。それはリカちゃんが作ったのか？って聞くのはなしなんだったな。
なしです。圭一はこの詩を聞いてどんな感想を持ちましたですか？
Everyone has the right to be happy. Yet it's so hard to receive. I understand that. Everyone does have the right to be happy. But that doesn't mean that everyone can receive that happiness. Everyone has the right to be happy, yet it's so hard to fulfill. This one is a little harder to understand, but exercising that right probably refers to the process of finding happiness. Everyone has the right to work hard for their happiness. But it's not that easy for that work to bear fruit. I have the right to be happy, yet it's so hard to compromise. I guess she's trying to talk about compromising your happiness. There's no limit to human desires. You can never stop wanting more. And that's why people need to make compromises on their happiness. At least, that's how I understand it. If she was trying to say that we should be satisfied with what we have, it sounds like a positive statement. But there's also a negative tone to the way it's presented.
この詩は多分詩を作った人の心情を表しているものだと思う。
僕もそうだと思いますです。それで感想はいかがですか？
She wouldn't admit it, but I'm sure Rika-chan is the one who made that poem, and it's reflecting on how she's feeling. I'm not that smart, but even I can understand that.
悲しい歌だなって思った。
悲しいですか？
最初の2つはわかる。幸せに過ごす権利は誰にだってあるが、だからといって誰でも簡単に幸せになれるわけじゃないもんな。そういう厳しさを歌ったものだと思う。でも最後の一つは毛色が違う。妥協ってのは諦めるって意味だ。この詩の私は幸せになることを諦めて今を妥協して幸せだと思い込もうとしてるんだ。
幸せだと思い込もうとしているですか？
それも未練いっぱいにな。誰だって努力さえすればきっと幸せになれるのに、自分だけはそれが絶対届かないと分かっている。そんな諦めが漂う悲しい歌だ。
なら圭一、この詩の私はどうすればいいんでしょうか？
くじけるなってことだな。
くじけるなですか？
この詩を歌ったやつは自分がどういう風になれれば幸せなのか、それは決して高望みしたものではないと思う。どうやったら幸せになれるかを延々3段も考察してるやつなんだぜ。真剣に考えてるんだ。だからここまで幸せになりたいと一途に思ってるなら絶対に諦めちゃダメだと思うぜ。俺たちは絶望的な状況をほんの数日でひっくり返したんだぜ。
Though it felt like years. I don't know, that whole situation was literally a few days for them, but oh my gosh, it felt like forever for me.
みんなで力を合わせればきっと奇跡が起こせる。リカちゃんだってそれを目の当たりにしたはずだぜ。あるんだろ悩み。打ち明けてくれよ。
打ち明けたいことはあります。
Yeah, but you see, a huge part of me is thinking that she should admit everything. and she should have from the beginning. More so than ever right now because of everything that they all went through. However, Sodoko, well, I guess Sodoko doesn't know about her disease. She doesn't know that it is a syndrome that everyone is experiencing. So maybe she can get away with actually stating it, and none of them would actually blame the fact that she's sick. It might work out, and they have to believe Rika. She's the least insane out of all of them, right?
でも打ち明ければみんなはもうひなみ沢でのんびりと暮らすことはできなくなるでしょう。私にとっての幸せはみんなと楽しく昭和58年6月以降も過ごすこと。だからこそ6月をくぐり抜けるためだけにみんなを巻き込んでもそれは私にとっての幸せではない。
ひなみ沢にのんびり暮らせなくなる？どうしてだよ。
打ち明けたことを知られたら奴らは必ずみんなを殺す。だから助けを求められない。
殺すって穏便な話じゃないな。まさかリカちゃん誰かに脅迫されてるのか？
Yes, let's shout, Keiichi. The word kill is not something that most people can use casually. I was shocked to hear it come from her mouth. That's why I couldn't help but raise my voice.
誰が敵かもわからない状態です。一つわかるのは誰かが私を必ず殺すということだけです。
ごめんリカちゃん、話してくれ。一体何があったんだ？
Is Teppei threatening her? No, that is impossible. The police arrested him, and besides, that the Sonosaki family told him to never come back to the village. There's no way he could contact Rika-chan in order to threaten her. And even if that somehow was the case, Rika-chan could just talk to Mion and everything would be taken care of. But based on her expression, it seems like this is way deeper than that.
ごめんなさいです。これ以上言えばきっと巻き込みますです。圭一たちが巻き込まれれば仮に6月を超えられてもそれは私の望む世界じゃない。だから打ち明けられないのです。それが多分私が望む幸せに対し妥協しないということなのだと思いますです。
リカちゃんがさっきから何を言ってるのかさっぱりだが、リカちゃんのその言い方、先日までの聡子にそっくりだぜ。
聡子に？
ああ、耐えることが美徳だと勘違いして戦う勇気を忘れてる。そういう風に聞こえるな。電話で聡子に戦う勇気を奮い起こせと劇を飛ばしたリカちゃんらしくもないぜ。
My words had clearly hurt Rika-chan's feelings. She bit her lip and went quiet for a moment.
巻き込まれれば圭一たちもきっと殺されますですよ。
殺されるのはごめんだな。でもよ、放っておけばリカちゃんは必ず殺されるんだろ。だったら俺もリカちゃんのいない未来なんてごめんだな。リカちゃんが俺たちを巻き込みたくないって思うように、俺たちもリカちゃんを失いたくないって思ってる。荒事は大歓迎だぜ。それに3人集まれば文殊の知恵って言うだろ。部活メンバーみんなで相談し合えば必ず妙案が出るぜ。
いくら部活メンバーでも無理なものは無理だと思いますです。
俺たちを巻き込みたくないから打ち明けられないんだな。ならリカちゃんは俺たちに打ち明けず一人で死のうってことなんだな。
そういうことだと思いますです。
耐えることを美徳だと勘違いするな。戦う勇気を思い出すんだ。心の整理がついたらいつでも何時でもいいから相談してくれ。俺たちは絶対に力になるからな。
ありがとうです。
Rika-chan was wearing a sorrowful smile. I could tell that she appreciated my sympathy. I don't know why, but Rika-chan is troubled by something. It's a matter of life and death for her. She can't even talk to us about it. At the very least, she won't talk to me.
どうだった圭一くん？
リカちゃんが悩み事だって？珍しいね。
聡子、変なことを聞いてすまんが、リカちゃんが命を狙われているような話ってあるのか？
は？
何を言ってるんですの、ケイイチさんは。
リカちゃまは村のシンボルじゃないですか。
Why is Shion here in her street clothes?
拝む人はいても命を狙う人なんているわけないです。なんだいなんだい、物騒な話だね。
Wait, is that like an actual sprite accident? Yeah, I guess in this style, well, for some reason, Rena's the same, but yeah, she's just in her street clothes, and for some reason more menacing. Okay, yeah, I guess that's just how it is, and Rena will literally not change. Whatever. The more I talked to my friends, the stranger it seemed that someone would try to kill Rika-chan. Everyone was even more confused than I felt.
リカちゃんは悩みを打ち明けてくれたわけじゃない。でも何かに悩んでるのは間違いなく、それはかなり深刻らしいんだ。リカちゃんが俺たちを信頼してくれるなら、きっと近いうちに打ち明けてくれると思う。その時はどんな突拍子もない話であっても、きっと信じてあげて力になってあげよう。
Yeah, that's a good first stepping stone,
きっとだ
actually.
ぜ。
We all looked at each other and nodded. Yeah, again, not really sure why Shion's in her street clothes here. That must have been an accident. It just does not make sense. Okay, I know that there's like an, overarching, plot here and all, but yeah, I don't know. That caught me off guard and distracted me. Number 34 is the name of this achievement. Okay, we'll view this new tip, which is Fated Notebook 2 and 3. The Son of God promised that he would be resurrected within 3 days. Sinful men guarded his grave to make sure he would not wake up, but that was foolish of them. He meant that his spirit and his lessons would be resurrected, not his physical shell. Do not be afraid of physical death. If you achieve great things, you will live again. You will surpass death and become immortal. A demon took the Son of God to a cliff and told him to jump off. He claimed that he was really a son of God. A miracle would happen or would help him survive. He tried to challenge the Lord. The Lord challenges humans, but humans may not challenge the Lord. To challenge is to suspect. Suspicion will speak words of evil into your ears, and it will make you falter. Do not doubt your own achievements. Do not doubt your own life. Do not doubt your contributions. Do not let others criticize your achievements. That is the same as doubting your own life. Hifumi T. Yeah, it's that Hifumi T again. And I think somebody in the comments said that name was brought up once before. But you can't expect me to be smart and remember things, guys. I'm sure I'll figure it out. I don't know if that's like an actual real-life passage that's supposed to like connect here with the story, but I don't know. And it looks like we're in the next day. It is a new morning, according to the chirping of birds, which means that today could be potentially the final day. Will it? I don't know. Oh boy, this is for some reason gotten me a little stressful. Like, I really want to see this world be the successful one because so many things happened. It's like everything just came together. Everyone figured out their issues before they became issues. Minus Sotoko, of course. But yeah, this was literally the perfect chapter. But then, the plot kicked back in and, well, here we are. I'm really hoping that the gang can figure out who the real enemy is, or at the very least, stop the enemy before they do their Operation Doomsday. I'm hoping that they're able to, whether they figure out who the enemy is or not. I mean, this, in a way, seems sort of bigger than the Sonozaki clan. To be totally honest, this seems like I don't even know. I don't even know how to describe who we're going up against. We're going up against some psycho bitch and her squad of mercenaries, it feels like. I don't know, it's weird. And I guess we'll keep on going and figuring out what's really happening and what's bound to happen. But obviously we can have a pretty good idea. Thank you all for watching this episode. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and I will see you all in the next one. Take it easy.